that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Tonight, we wind up Week 5 with a good battle between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. The first quarter of the season already in the rear-view mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports.
This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone.
And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage, but every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run.
Second down, they go right back to Cook. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first. The Vikings at 3-1 here through their first 4 games. And they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37, gain of 9.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. They run it again with Cook. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting 1 more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's 3rd down.
On 3rd down, Cousins. That's to Dalvin Cook, his running back. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
A first down throw for Cousins. Catch is made by Hawkinson, the tight end. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
And Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL. They're just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of the formation, made a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch, but the defenders were there. Couldn't do a whole lot with it afterwards.
Hey, flipper!
On 2nd down, he'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. 8th play of this opening drive coming up. This is 3rd down. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47.
These two teams, they met up earlier in the year, back in week 2. And it was the Vikings who won that one on the road, so they'll look for the sweep here in Minneapolis.
Here we go, 48!
They run the counter with Paul. And he'll work this forward for about 3. It's 2nd down.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Yeah.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll try to throw now. Cousins. That's complete to K.J. Osborne. Down the sideline he goes. Touchdown, Vikings. K.J. Osborne, his first touchdown on the year.
And the Vikings will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away.
From the end zone, here comes Williams. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10 at their own 13. On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive.
And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down.
And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
This defense for the Vikings, they played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
We go slide!
Play fake for Swift. Now Goff. That throw taken in by Jamison Williams. And he is going to have a Lions 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter.
Let's go! Horrible!
On 1st down, it's gone.
And that's to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's gathering someone covered? That type of indecision can open up deep.
And in for the Lions touchdown. Josh Oliver, His second touchdown on the season. And the Lions are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own. Extra point right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This will be brought out in the middle of the end zone. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder into ball carrier, and down he goes.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Off the play fake, Cousins. Hawkinson crossing the middle and bringing it in. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. 7-7, our score after 1.
Hey, flipper!
Cousins gives way to Cook. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left.
Hey, get!
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard.
They bring the blitz, and it's not always the initial blitzers that make the play. In this case, the blitzers actually took up the blocking. How about the guy in the middle, though? Reading his keys, right on the spot, stops him at the line of scrimmage.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. They just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
1st down, and they go with Swift again. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes being a linebacker in the middle of the field is kind of like being a doctor on the field. You got to make the right diagnosis. Here he correctly sets his run and shoots through to make the play in the backfield.
On 2nd down, Swift. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third manageable with that run.
There's gone. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it. That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw, or maybe the ball's tipped, or just too many bodies in the area, an interception can result.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Partner, this is almost an unwinnable spot for a defense. They have to come right out for a 1st and goal, trying to stop them. But let me hold on a second. Let me take that back real quick. They can win here if they force a field goal try. Still a long ways away from that happening, but that has to be what they're thinking right now.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective. Able to stop it before you get a good head of steam going.
In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Disastrous outcome there on 3rd and goal. They lose 9 yards on the sack. And his kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
From the end zone, here comes Williams. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way, because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe you give him a couple easy throws that he can complete, and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, and still in the first half here, a long way to go. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Listen.
Now it's gone. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Now, the offense, they'd really not been able to mount anything yet on that drive, and the defense made sure they couldn't mount anything. The interception and the return adding 6 to the scoreboard.
And that's no small return for a linebacker, partner. He took matters into his own hands and his legs on that pick. And once he had it, I don't think anyone on the field could have stopped him.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. From the end zone, here comes Williams. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this.
He's got him in, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. Give him 32 on the play.
We go, Todd! Super!
From the 50, it's gone. That'll be caught. It's St. Brown. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. Boy, 30 more yards and another first down.
How about the first half he's putting together? Well over 100 yards already with that last catch. And to me, they'd be well served to keep looking his way. A number of big plays already in this one.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll stay on the ground with Swift, and he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. 3rd and 2. Long. Touchdown! Josh Oliver, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Lions are back within a score. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. Here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. There's still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. And we'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock, I would imagine it would be the latter. I think they're going to try and add on to it. So what they're going to tell the team is very simply, if you can get out of bounds after making a play downfield, terrific. If you can't, everyone hustle to the line of scrimmage, either run another play or clock it and start over again.
They're going to go jet sweep here. This is Ross with it. And he's got some space here. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Vikings. John Ross, his first rushing touchdown of the year. And the Vikings will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Extra point splits the uprights. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit. And that'll be caught by St. Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now Goff on first down. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. And 22 more yards there and another first down. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what.
And this is going to be intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And the Vikings are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
And Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively, getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Already enjoying a 2-score lead here late in the second quarter. Not a ton of time left. We'll see if they can work this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 to add on even more to their lead. So time perhaps for one final kneel down before they take this lead to the locker room. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. It'll be Lions football to start the second half, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. From the end zone, here comes Williams.
Anytime you feel the kickoff inside your own end zone, you've got to be decisive about whether you're bringing it out or not. Sometimes that indecision can really cost you. That may have been what happened on that play.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And Charles, some things to like about that first half, ultimately trailing here, but certainly this deficit is manageable. So curious to see what adjustments they may have made at intermission.
As am I, because I think things bode well for a possible comeback, because I thought a lot of their best reps in the first half came through the passing game. They were hitting the open receivers, taking whatever the coverage gave them and making it work well for themselves. Now, they just want to pick up the pace of scoring a little bit. So I expect them to come out and continue to throw the ball effectively.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Goff escaping the pressure right. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
Williams, a man in motion right. Throwing on 3rd. Gone. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. William Jackson with a pick. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, Charles, just some visibly frustrated players and coaches on that sideline right now because those halftime adjustments didn't work. The turnover problems continuing here in the second half, and the defense now sitting pretty comfortably as a result of that pick 6.
Hey, that's a great observation too, Brandon, because they did make adjustments at halftime. But how about this other group staying a step ahead despite whatever happened in that other locker room? No surprise they're leading, and it's appropriate that those defenders get to add to the lead directly.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
From the end zone, here comes Williams.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
That's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now a play fake, and it's gone. And my goodness, another interception. It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it.
Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
The tackle there by Malcolm Rodriguez. From the 37, they work on 2nd and 6.
48. First.
Play action now. Cousins sliding out of the pocket.
Open there. He's got Jefferson across the formation.
And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out.
Black.
Left side, Cook. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. And his carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
And he's going to be stopped well short of what he needed as the tackle is made at the 18-yard line. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So the defense able to force the interception, and the offense working their way to field goal range and able to get 3 out of it.
Yeah, and give them credit for that. They took the ball, maneuvered it downfield, and while they couldn't get exactly what they wanted, which was a touchdown, they did get 3 points out of it. So they paid off what the defense gave them. Both sides will be thrilled with that.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard. I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for it. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
Meanwhile, Goff's into the hands of Williams.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Goff a handoff here to Swift.
And some room to maneuver.
And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
Go!
They'll fake the give. Now gone. Looking left side, and it's complete. If they didn't have that penalty a moment ago, it'd be a 1st down. Still a nice 13-yard pickup.
From the gun, here's Swift.
Some tough running, but it only gets him to the 45.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they showed passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. It's a nice play with them defensively, though, relative to a short game.
And now here's another interception. Picked up by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks.
And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. They give it and then take it away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. He'll get only a couple down to the 44. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
3rd down, Dalvin Cook.
A good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. 50 yards rushing for him now as he's done it on 19 carries.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football. Sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Again, it's Cook. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. On play action, Cousins. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this 3rd quarter of play. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 10. Cousins. Complete. Jefferson the target. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 4th down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, that's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
And now a whistle and a timeout called by the kicking team. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Goff. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Goff. And open, it's St. Brown, he's got it. And he is going to have the Lions 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down 2nd and right of the yard. From the 41, Goff. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
They'll try and run through it. Here's Johnson. And he's got the 1st before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Goff now to throw. They'll find Williams on the slant. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. From the 31. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 19. They go back to the ground to Johnson. And he is going to lose much yardage here. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Goff now looking to throw. And it'll be intercepted.
Picked off by Lewis Seen.
And the Vikings are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line.
Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
Ball at the 24 and a 2nd and 11.
They'll try and run some clock now with Jones. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. So they get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2.
Wide.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. They'll try to run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
When people talk about plays being blown up, that's exactly what they're talking about. That's Exhibit A for physical play.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13.
Receiver.
Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. They'll get 4 on 2nd down, but it leaves them with 3rd and still 9 to go. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for 1 more 1st down to help salt this one away.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the 1st. 3rd down, here's a run by Cook.
No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Now a high kick, almost a pooch punt. Not good at all. Punt of just 24 yards there. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
But probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the fourth quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Harrison Smith. With that interception, he just set a record that nobody ever wants to set, and that's the most picks ever in an NFL game. 8.
The last time we saw 7, 2001, right?
Yeah.
Ty Detmer is with the Lions at that time. To get to 8, are we sure he knows what color jerseys his team's wearing in this one?
I don't know. It has not been good.
Focus, defense, focus.
60 minutes. Play a whole game. What it is, baby. That's what it is. Let's go, Panther.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. Have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They didn't score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Vikings, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1.